Royal Holmes is the product of a single-parent home and the eldest of three at that time. He grew up in several low-income areas throughout Atlanta before their small family finally settled on Atlanta's east side in Decatur, Georgia. As an adolescent, Royal fell victim to a statistic. At 17, Royal was sentenced to 6 years in prison for 2 counts of aggravated assault and possession of cocaine in DeKalb County. Prison had been a life lesson in the criminal element for him. However, a developing sense of awareness tugged at him as he wrote everything a young imaginative mind could conjure trapped behind barbed wire and steel. Though truly inspired by discovering a talent, a gift, Royal returned to society in '99, relatively young, restless, and determined to make his mark however he could. Criminal influences, the convenience of the hustle, and fast capital drew Royal deeper and deeper back into a lifestyle destined for death or destruction.
080, that's a direct order. Do it now.
At 26, Royal found himself back inside an institution for armed robbery and burglary, this time for 120 months. The devastation was mental. A break in his spirit, however, did not merit defeat. God is faithful in his promises. He had given Royal the proper tools he needed to get through whatever challenges he may face. No matter the tribulation, no matter the time, it was a matter of do or die. Royal chose to be a doer. His story is unique due in part to his uncommon ingenuity and determination to overcome no matter the obstacle, despite the adversity. His drive to better himself despite his background or situation drew the attention of the OWN Network and several other influential people and organizations. A recent documentary, Our America, with Lisa Ling, Incarceration Generation, premiered Royal and his plight post-incarceration. Steve Harvey saw the documentary and called upon him to speak at Steve Harvey's Mentorship Foundation hosted in Atlanta back in October 2011. Since then, Royal has been making guest appearances at nonprofit and other health-conscious organizations promoting wellness and physical fitness. He is the author of several novels, the inventor of the CP ball, and owns and operates Royal Fitness.
Incarceration in America is everywhere, and for some, it's a revolving door. Nationwide, 43% of ex-felons reoffend, returning to prison within 3 years of release. Inside Coastal State Prison in Savannah, Georgia, a unit of short-timers, men in on mostly drug crimes waiting to walk back into society, explain why it's so easy to get into prison and so hard to stay out.
Yeah, it's pretty constant. You see people in and out all the time. I mean, it's going to be real hard out there for everybody that's getting out. It's going to be hard.
At Coastal, there are programs to help with job applications and managing addictions, but nobody here seems optimistic of their chances in what they call the free world.
You know, when you get out of prison, you're a convicted felon, it's hard for you to get a job that nobody want to hire you. So
most people need rehab. Ain't nobody taking the time to really find out what the problem is. Ain't nobody really trying to talk to nobody. They just sticking them in here, ain't nobody talking to nobody.
Many of these men are fathers, and there's a lot of responsibility facing them when they get out. Parole and probation fines and child support. If they can't find a way to pay, they'll be coming back. And finding a way to get the money is another issue altogether.
I got 6, 4 boys, 2 girls. If the light bill need to be paid and I ain't got no money, then so the next best thing I know is to do what I know best. But I know I'm taking a chance to come back in here. I don't mind working at a McDonald's or Checkers, or Rally's Burgers, but at the same time, that's not going to really take care of me and my children and to pay the probation or parole officer. Yeah, I mean, it's going to take time, but at the same time, if I can't get a good job to take care of me and my children, then, what else I'm left with to do,
The simple cell flooding is escalating. With more than 50 inmates out of their cells, the numbers are against the 6-man response team.
There's only, what, about 200 officers versus 1,500 inmates? Oh, yeah. If they all got together, believe me, it's going to get ugly. And the minute they get enough boost behind them to just, hey, let's just go all out, they will go all out.
Bring in the supervisor. Oh, hold up now. You want to listen now. I want them to see for themselves now. All right, we're going to take care of the problem. All right? No, just hold it down. Let it go for right now. We're going to correct it. You just said we're going to do it. Like I said, we're going to take care of it.
I'm saying put us on y'all. You just said yesterday, maintenance crew was going to come in here and fix this problem.
Apparently we're not.
We can't tell.
We're going to go ahead and get it right. All right?
It's mid-afternoon, and already it's been a long day at Smith. When right next door, things take a turn for the worse. In K2, a general alarm has sounded. Man down, a clash involving an officer, and now a fight has erupted. For 10 minutes, the balance of power is in question before officers restore order. And the instigators are hauled out.
Man, tell everybody out there, y'all, let's get it, man.
Today, inmates try to take control of a dorm at Smith. Tomorrow, they will see the consequences.
Prison brought out a different part of me that I didn't know existed.
Everyone has a story to tell, and everyone wants to be heard. When I think about Royal, who is a young African-American man who was incarcerated for 10 years, and he came out with this desire to want to have a better life and a desire to have a career. But every time he applied for a job, he just kept getting doors slammed in his face over and over again. He'd been going through things that so many of us can never even imagine.
In prison, you're not living, you're waiting to die. You know, that's what you're prepared for. But it's not about death anymore. I made it through that. It's about life now.
Our America, all new Sunday, 10/9 Central, only on OWN.
At 36 years old, Royal, convicted felon of armed robbery, left prison with few possessions. In Savannah, he shares with me a box that reveals how he spent the past 10 years. It's nearly everything he owns.
So much.
So this is 10 years of your life.
This is my whole life.
What does this contain?
All these are books that I wrote. Years and years and hours of work and thought, creativity, you know, all in this box.
Most people will never write a book in their life, and you've written how many?
9.
While in prison, Royal tells me he found a way to express himself in an environment that provides few freedoms.
I'm a very free will, creative person. My mind needs room to think and expand. When you writing, it takes your mind to another place. You don't have time to run to the dice game. I put more time and energy into it and less time and energy into the prison system or the activities in it.
Royal produced a collection of urban fiction novels and poems that remained with him locked away until now.
A king fell, took a path through hell, lost his ways by night, praying to make it back to life, praying his father left the light on, praying to get up and get right, praying one day he just might rise as a king who fell.
Who's the king?
The king can represent you. The king can represent someone you know who went through something and he's on his way back to the top. People don't know their true value until you lose and you're at the bottom. You know, you have to find yourself, redefine yourself again. You know, that's a king to me. You know, so.
Are you a king?